And last but not least, do we have somebody from the group of publishing on your REU?
Hi, my name's Liz Cottrell. I'm at Smithsonian, and we were a group of about 15, led by Susan Sullivan. We're very grateful to her for that. And our group, we have questions. Our group wanted to know what NSF's expectation is for publishing, how many REU site PIs are publishing, and then how and where to publish and strategies for success in publishing. And I had this feeling, I came to the meeting with this feeling that publishing was in the solicitation, and I was very insistent that that was so, and it's not. And my information, I confirmed with Lena and made sure my quote was okay before I got up here, is that in calling my program officer about my renewal, my second implementation, what would that look like? What would a second renewal look like? And she said, well, in your renewal, we are going to want to know that how are you sharing your information? We want you to publish. We want you to share. If you're, the panel, I guess, is driving this, saying, okay, this is amazing. How are you going to let the rest of the community know? How are we going to disperse best practices? And so I'm getting it from my program officer, not from the solicitation. We talked about the challenges of publishing, small amounts of data, not enough funding from NSF to do the publishing part or the evaluation part. Needing to become grounded in a literature that's not your own literature. It's the education literature, perhaps, instead of your discipline-specific literature. The lack of a control group, although we decided that might be a false dichotomy, that came up. And this idea of publishing can't be that you want to share your great thing, that this is neither useful nor interesting to others, and it's not actionable. So how do you turn your great thing into useful, actionable information? We talked in Solutions and Strategies, Journal of Geoscience Education. This shocked me, but that you can expect 3 to 4 rounds of revision on your paper, and that Journal of Geoscience Education looks at the publishing process as an educational mission of the journal itself. So not to be daunted by all those reviews and revisions. And the idea is needing to situate your claim about how great your thing is within a theory of change or some other conceptual framework. And we talked about other places to publish beyond Journal of Geoscience Education. In terms of resources, we had some names. This is all in the Google Doc, so you can look at those. But one thing that I thought was interesting that we learned is that Journal of Geoscience Education, if you have been met with rejection there, they actually have several paper tracks, a research paper, which is more about the theory, pushing the bounds of theory, versus curriculum and instruction direction, which is more of the practicalities of implementation. And in terms of ideas for collaboration, we talked about the power of the people in this room to create control groups for each other. So if I'm doing something in my REU and I need a control group, maybe you're not doing that in your REU, and your REU students can become my control group for my study that I want to publish. And so maybe if we all help each other out, we will all have control groups. And so maybe during the panel time, NSF can speak to this further if NSF program officers in the room know how many REU site PIs are publishing and what is the expectation, and also what does NSF want to know? What would be useful to NSF in terms of what we publish?